I'd like to invite my bodyguards to come up now at this time. I am so blessed to have you two men that love my girls so much. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Eric, one of the son-in-laws. I met Denny when I was 15. I was a sophomore in high school with a crush on his youngest daughter, Natalie. And our first meeting was uneventful. Natalie and I like to joke that Denny hardly got up from his paper before we left on our first date. But in his defense, there was no way for him to think I was going to stick around very long. Back then, I wore baggy clothes, usually purchased from a thrift store, and I had bleached white hair. Fast forward, and today I'm about the age that Denny was when we met, but I dress a little better, and now my hair is just naturally white. But it didn't take long before Denny showed great interest in me, and over the years we became very close. Some of my favorite early memories with Denny were a few times he took me out to breakfast, just the two of us, usually just down the road from here at Molly's Country Kitchen. And as Natalie mentioned earlier, Denny did some of his best work one-on-one. And it was at one of those breakfasts when he first told me, that he trusted me with his daughter. He was always a great listener and gave me wise counsel when I asked for it. And he would also pray for me. Being a girl dad, I think he also liked having me around because it was another male presence. And so we bonded over a shared love of sports. And Denny was the one who introduced me to Dodger Stadium, where he would take me to cheer on his favorite team. And he also taught me how to play golf. And true story, I accidentally hit him with an errant shot the first time he took me out on the course. And of course, he never let me forget about that. But most importantly, he modeled what it would look like to be an authentic, devoted follower of Jesus. And I had the privilege of seeing that up close. Denny lived his life for 30 years and can proudly testify that Denny was the real deal. He practiced what he preached, and he made every room that he was in better. The fruit of the Spirit was very evident in his life, and there's no doubt that has a lot to do with why we love him so much and why he was just so easy to follow. In the Bible, the book of James tells us that the prayers of a righteous man are powerful and effective. And Coast Hills is a beautiful example of a righteous man who prayed to God, and God gave him a vision, and he was obedient, and he followed it time and time again, the big and the small. And his legacy is one of love and just all about pointing people to Jesus. And it gives me great comfort to know that now he's in heaven and he's receiving his eternal rewards for a life well lived.
So I am Grant. I'm the other son-in-law and Brooke's husband. So Denny was a kind and gentle spirit whose warmth and encouragement made a lasting impact on everyone he met. He had an extraordinary ability to connect with people, always ready to listen, like everybody's talked about that's come up here. He was always ready to listen. As a grandfather, he brought so much joy to our family. His eyes would light up at the sight of his grandchildren, and he had the ability to make each and every grandchild feel uniquely special. When we were talking with Lisa about what we wanted to share, I was going through so many different stories, and finally came down to one that makes the most sense that I wanted to share about Denny, that I think is just a great testament to the kind of man that he was. When I was getting ready to ask Brooke to marry me, I went to Denny and Lisa to talk with them about the engagement. I nervously went through with my 10-minute prepared speech and on why I deserved to marry his daughter, what I was going to do, and how I was going to take care of her and the kids. And he just responded very simply with saying, I care about 3 things that I see in you. You love the Lord. You love the Lord, you love my daughter, and you love those children. He then finished with, and that's all I care about. We couldn't be happier about you and Brooke. We couldn't be happier about you asking Brooke to marry you. And like everybody said, that's really, he knew what was important in this world and what was important in this life. And man, I'm going to miss him. So thank you.